But this concept of deep state is a really powerful one, and can be utilized by anybody who has some concerns about how government is going to use its authority. And Michael, I'll ask you, because look, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are deep state guys. They're the ones who are like, the deep state is a problem. When we get in there, we're going to expose the deep state. We're going to expose that Ray Epps is a plant and a Fed. We're going to expose the Epstein files. And then they get in there and bupkis. So what happened there?
So there's a real irony here in that the deep state never existed. The notion that the FBI as an institution was a hotbed of anti-Trump activity in 2015 and 2016 is pretty ludicrous. I don't think it's going to come as a shock to anybody that most FBI agents probably lean right. Despite what people think, we don't really talk about it at work. It is a pretty apolitical place. But most people who choose to go into law enforcement for a career are the sort of people who are rooting for Javert when they read Les Miserables. Like, it's a certain mindset. So there never was a deep state, but ironically, what Patel and Bongino are doing in terms of trying to root it out are actually creating it. They're getting rid of people who really value political independence, institutional integrity, ideological blindness. The only people that are going to be left by the time they're done 3.5 years by now are people at the executive levels who are willing to bend their principles for the party in power.
How cynical was this, Michael? Like all the stuff about Ray Epps being a Fed and January 6th being a government op that was, a bunch of Feds urging on Antifa to storm the Capitol and get it done, or that the deep state was protecting the Epstein list because of that. How much did they believe that? How cynical was that? And what is the process? Why is this Epstein thing suddenly now? Oh, yeah, no. I mean, if anything looks like deep state, it's the president's personal lawyer going to interview Ghislaine Maxwell.
Off the record without it being recorded. Yeah.
Right. And then a week later, her being transferred to a minimum security prison where sex offenders are not allowed to be transferred to.